I'm
Hi.
Ellen.
I'm Nicole.
How are you?
Nice to meet you. I'm good.
Good. Who's
Yeah,
this?
this is Faustina.
Hi, Faustina.
Say hi.
Hi.
No.
You're good. So I just have, I've read kind of what was on your paperwork, but would just kind of want to hear from you why you're in today.
I'm just struggling a lot with relationships right now. Specifically with my mother-in-law. She was raised in like a really strict Irish family who was kind of like very firm on their beliefs, very firm on how you did things, and so that just became her personality. So now every decision I make is the wrong one. Especially now with kids, it's anything I do is wrong. And like I've been breastfeeding her, and she was raised with formula in that generation, and so it's like I get up to leave the room to go breastfeed, and she would just say, like, in front of everybody, just you're leaving the room now. See, this is what breastfeeding does. Like, it takes away interaction, or she didn't say that specifically, but that's what she was like getting at. And she'd say it doesn't give anybody else the chance to feed the baby, even though, like, that's not my concern. My concern is her nourishment. And that was months ago, but it was just every little thing I did with my baby was wrong. And how I ran my home, if something wasn't clean enough, or so I don't know. I guess it does get in my head, and I start to I doubt my abilities as a mom and as a wife, and I question if I'm doing anything right, and I don't know, my anxiety levels have risen dramatically ever since she's been born, and sometimes I feel like it affects my day, and I feel like I can't take care of her like I could, because I'm always concerned about what I'm doing wrong. And yeah, I have so much anxiety, but I also like have a lot of like negative emotions built up towards my mother-in-law as well.
Sounds like a really tough position to be in, especially when it's someone that you want to be able to maybe look up to, or maybe ask for advice about this. Because I know, like, personally, I always wanted to ask. I have a mother-in-law, and just kind of that, it seems like a natural go-to sometimes, but if you don't have that, that can be very hard.
Yeah.
So you're kind of saying that things have gotten more like that since she was born. What was your relationship like before that?
Well, it was not as bad. I could tell she was still picky about, just things around the home, but a lot of the time she was just good with conversation, asking how we were doing, or we would cook together. She was a really good cook, and she baked cakes, and so she taught me a lot about cake baking, and gave me some of their recipes. That was kind of the kitchen was her passion, and so it's helped me to learn a lot of things. My husband's actually had some good meals, first years into marriage, not having to suffer from burnt food, because she taught me a lot of that. Yeah. So
just kind of maybe more in common as far as beliefs, not as much to argue about that way.
Right.
Well, it seems like, I just want to point out, it sounds like a really difficult situation, but you've done a really good job of getting to this point.
Yeah.
She looks alive and well to me. You're in the office today. You're obviously like trying to do things better, and kudos to you for not. In a lot of those situations, we just stop trying to do that relationship, and it's very apparent that you're trying to get better and to kind of form those, at least to be more civil.
Right.
So it's very commendable, and it takes a lot of skill to get to that level, so I just kind of wanted to point that out to you, because I know sometimes that's hard to overlook in the moment, or easy to overlook in the moment.
Right.
But tell me a little bit about just being a mom. Like, you mentioned you have a little bit of anxiety around that aspect of it.
I think, she's a picky eater, and so I think, about, like, once again, my mother-in-law is a great cook, so I'm like, okay, what would she have given her kids? What would she have cooked? What she created? And she can be really picky, and sometimes I'll put anything in front of her and she won't eat anything. And other times she'll stuff her face. So it's just really hard with that balance. And so, because nutrition, that's the biggest thing around babies is nutrition.
Yeah.
So sometimes she'll just eat cheese all day. And I'm like, you got literally no vitamins. So
Yeah.
that can be stressful.